Hey, welcome back to the Backstage Cowboys podcast. This is Claude Vien. This time, I'm taking you down to Florida. Which is a little ridiculous because we're right in the middle of a heat wave, but what the hell. We're going to go meet one of my old buddies who was there when I started off as a lighting technician. He's one of the guys who kind of pushed me in the ass and brought me to do stuff I never would have tried. He just insisted and was calling impossible shots. And, well, that was a good thing because it helped me surpass myself and become a better lighting guy. So, anyway, I present you my good friend, Frenchie Rouleau. Hey, Louie, my literally old friend.
Yeah, right?
You're only 4 years older than I am, but yeah, whatever. You're still my old friend. How you doing, man?
I'm really doing fantastic, buddy. I'm just having a great time here in Fort Lauderdale. Actually, I was in Fort Lauderdale for almost 10 years, so to be exact, I was in Boca Raton. Then we bought a boat on Fort Myers Beach about 2.5 years ago, and my wife and I, we just moved in, and it's like people say, we're living the dream.
Sounds like a program on how to become a millionaire.
No, I don't think you'll become a millionaire living on a sailboat, but money is no issue here because, when I moved my house. So when I go sailing, I sail with my house. So I got everything. I'm always where I need to be. Like last week, we went to Dry Tortugas. So I took the house. So we were out at sea for 6 days. It's nice. So you got everything you need in a boat, all your little gadget, all your little fun things. I brought my acoustic guitar, which I didn't play because I had some chores to do over there in Dry Tortugas. We visited. That's what it is.
Do you still play sometimes? Do you still do gigs?
I still do. I play. I started about, I would say, a year ago. Jose and I, we go to a Messianic synagogue, and I play guitar over there.
Oh, yeah.
And then a buddy of mine got me hooked up with a church that is in the same building that the synagogue rents to them. So I play on Saturday and Sunday. Do I make any money? No.
No. That's why we stopped playing music in the first place, right?
That's right. So I'm having a great time. It's beautiful. The people let me do what I want to do. I just do my things. I just ask what key it is in, and I only do solos. I don't even know the chords. I look at the chords and I close my eyes and I do my stuff.
Oh, that's cool. You know what I did? I just got me. I got to show you.
Oh, that's a precision. That's a 5-string or 4-string.
That's a 4-string. It's an ESP LTD.
Wow.
It's not an expensive bass, but I've been wanting to play the bass for years and never got around to it. And I don't know. I'm 54. I think it's about time. And I can't wait till I'm 74 so I can start playing with people who don't exist yet and tell them that I started at 54. So I've been playing for about a month and a half, and I'm having a great time. It's really cool.
How's your calluses? Is your calluses working great?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there yet?
No, they're nice and smooth. No, I'm not there yet. I haven't worn out my hands yet, so I'm still good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So tell me about your career, man. You started off, tell me how it started. I guess that it started as a musician, right? Or
Yeah, you know what? I've been playing music since 1973. 1975, that was first band. 1981, I was, if I might, quote unquote, professional player. The first Christian rock band that was in Canada was I and another guy, was called Access. We were working with a band in the United States we call Resurrection Band. We toured until 1989. And after that, I moved on, went to another band, was called Bacon and Egg. Yeah.
Original.
And Egg, EGG. But the singer was a dark color guy.
Oh, okay.
So,
we won't go there. Oh, we can. Okay.
I know. So it was he's a lovely guy. I love that guy. He's beautiful, man. That guy looked like $1,000,000.
Wow.
Couldn't sing, but he looked good.
And what did he play?
He played guitar and sang.
Okay.
He still do it today. Having said that, we then around, I would say that would be 89. That's when I started buying my stuff. Actually, when the what's it called, that Mackie VLZ. When Mackie's 16 VLZ came out, that's when I bought my first desk.
Okay. So we're talking about a soundboard here, for those who don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you bought that, what, in 89,
so,
you say, right?
And when that came out, well, I think it would be maybe more on 89. I don't know exactly when it was. When that company came out, maybe it could be 91 or somewhere around that facility.
At some point, it doesn't really matter anymore, right?
Yeah. And so that's how I started, because I was mixing the band, recording on the cassette, VHF cassette. Every show was recorded that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because you wanted to hear what you're doing, how you were last night. I did that for a couple of years. Then I bought myself a PA. I was working then at a store in Montreal called Centre Musical en Sic.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so I was part-time there. Well, let me back up a little bit. I was a luthier at La Tosca Music Store. Mm-hmm. Okay, and before that, I learned at Maraza Music on St. Catherine Street.
You're bringing back souvenirs here.
On St. Catherine Street. So that's how I started. I would say that would be 82. Mm-hmm. 81, 82. And that's how I learned the craft of repairing, breaking guitar, burning guitars, breaking a Rickenbacker bass neck. But there was a luthier there. I don't remember his name, but he was fond on me, and he showed me all the tricks, how to choose wood, how to make it sound good. So I learned my trade. Then I got moved to La Tosca Music. Was still playing music 2, 3, 4 times a day. At La Tosca Music, I came certified, a Gibson certified repair guy.
Oh.
Yes. For the minor. So broken neck, I was not allowed to repair.
Okay.
Okay, everything else I could repair. I did a lot of understanding how pickups work. I had so much guitar in my hands. So, nevertheless, from there I went to Centre Musical en Sic, and there was a rental department over there.
Yeah.
And every Wednesday I would go over there and play with all their guitars and make their guitars playable.
Oh, okay.
Because no store does that. So every guitar I tuned, I made it. I like a high action, but I made it a lower action for the kids. Okay. But everything's perfectly. Every guitar, you pick it up, it was perfect.
Wow.
And that guy had about 600 guitars on the road. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was providing for all the tours and all that, right?
So there were Yorkville sound PA over there, and I started to making sense of PAs a little bit, learning how they work, reading books about PAs and things like that. And so when people would come in and rent stuff, I would provide sound people. I myself with my Mac key, and then I would add stuff these guys didn't know. So you need EQs for monitors, you need reverb and all this and all that, So I was sort of the guy to go to. You want to rent a PA? Okay, that's how much it costs. And I would provide sometimes transport. After a while, I had like 6 sound guys working for me. I was still touring with a band called Nightlife then, with Earl Bernard. We were booked by CR. We did all the arenas, the big circuit they called. Je vais parler en français, comme ça tu vas pouvoir l'éditer. Ma femme a fait du ménage, puis elle voulait demander si elle pouvait partir la balayeuse, puis j'ai dit non, tu peux pas.
You can say that in English, right? You can say that in English.
I could say that. So my wife was asking me if she could pass a vacuum because we're finishing. So she's sanding a wall, and she wants to vacuum the floor. So I said, no, sorry, honey, you can't do. Well, so having said that, we were going out with Nightlife, touring all over the country, and I was providing my PA again.
Okay.
I bought a PA, PV PA with a big horn, with a 15. I think I had 4 boxes with my Mackie. And then, I went to GS Audio, Co-Star.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff and I don't remember the other guy's name. And they hired me. And now
Steve Costers.
Yeah, but not Steve.
He was the owner, right? He was the owner.
Yeah. Actually,
he's my boss today. He owns AVL Media Group, for which I work.
Oh,
and he started Co-Star in the beginning.
Yeah, so you're with John Young.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow. I'll come to John Young later on.
I hope so.
So having said that, GS Audio hired me, and then I learned the big league.
Okay.
Sort of. Dimmers, real consoles. And I was doing weddings for them, mixing weddings. They were sending me the weddings, doing this, and doing some permanent installs and getting my craft in. So one day, maybe I would say just a little parentheses. While I was with Bacon and Egg, there was a guy, François Couture, is it the name? Yes, François Couture. He had a studio on Repentigny, and he had a big PA.
Okay.
I met him providing gear in a club where I was playing, and he hired me. That was in '89, and I did the platters.
Oh, wow.
With him.
Those are memorable gigs.
I got still goosebumps. Because, yes, the level of professionalism these guys were, François Couture, how professional, that's the first time I saw Sockopex.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time in '89 I saw Snake, a Driveline, crossovers and all that.
Professional gear. Yeah.
Yes. So moving forward, I would say I'm in 2000, or maybe 98 somewhere. I started with Coster. And then one day, I go fix. They were providing at the old Port of Montreal, the big stage of 550. They were providing audio and light and everything over there. And there was a crossover not working on a monitor rig. Mm-hmm. So they asked me to go over there and fix it. So when I got over there, I noticed that there was a front of house guy. His name is Richie Forte.
Oh, yeah.
So I fixed the monitor rig, and him and we tuned the monitor rig, and he liked it so much that we rang out the stage line, and then he asked Coster for me to stay over there and to help out 80-piece Montreal Symphonic Orchestra setting up on stage.
Okay. That's a small task, right?
I became a stage manager right there.
Uh-huh.
And then I made the order how they would walk in because there was no space, trust me.
Yeah.
So I really took over the stage, and I felt really good doing that. And then working with Richie Forte was a very, for me, he was the best sound man I ever heard.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Richie. I know Richie. I've done quite a few gigs with them, and you're reminding me that I really need to get him on this show.
Yes, you need to.
I will give him a call. He passed by my office a couple times in the past year.
Yes,
and, he's a busy
man. You need to get a hold of him. Yeah. Yes. Having said that, when I was done with this, went back to GS Audio, doing my regular job, and one day this guy calls me up. His name is Archie Cifelli.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he calls me up. He says, Archie Cifelli said to me, "Hi, are you Louis? Yeah, good. Let me tell you something. I don't know what the fuck you did to my son, man. But if I don't hire you, he will not do the gig."
Wow.
Okay, where and when I'm glad to be working with you guys. So that's the Italian festival.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that.
You remember that?
That's about the time we met. Around those years.
Well, yes, around those years. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I got over there. We did the fashion show with Hans. We did the Italian festival. Everything was great. Then Archie hired me. Then I started gigs. My first real big, overwhelming, couldn't understand everything. Now today I would say I didn't understand nothing, but was the Black and Blue in 2000.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a huge production.
There was 400,000 watt of sound and 4 million watts of lighting.
Yeah.
And Jean Coco Levesque was the lighting guy over there.
Yeah. By the way, I'm talking to Coco tonight.
Oh, cool!
I'm having him on the show. Yeah, I'll say hi for sure. Hi.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you a story he told me one day. So he's in China or Japan, whatever he is.
He's in China, yeah, he's in Beijing.
He's in China. So he's doing focus. He's down. There's a rigger up there to focus, and the guy was texting. And he's trying to get a hold of the kid, and the kid didn't answer. He left, came back an hour and a half later. He said, "Now I know how to swear in Mandarin, whatever Chinese I have to speak." But I said to the guy, you didn't do your job. Me, I went to lunch. I came back an hour and a half later. That was a good story that Coco told me.
Oh,
so Jacques Levesque, I saw things with the 75 Technobeam on the circular truss.
Oh, yeah.
I saw cartwheels. I saw, and the sound pressure. With having 8 stacks. We had a 53-footer full of SB1000.
Yeah.
8 high.
For those who don't know, those are double 15-inch, double 18-inch speakers.
Canon, 140 dB Canon type of speakers. They're the most. Actually, today, if you use them outside, they're the one who push SPL the furthest.
Wow.
So there was 8 high, 8 wide, 8 in circle with Vertec 89 flown. I think there was 12 or 16 on each tower, shooting to the center where the DJ was.
Yeah, and this was an indoor rig.
That was in the Olympic Stadium, in the room, in the big room.
Yeah.
That was the first and last time. At 5 o'clock in the morning, when John fired up the PA, 800 complaint came in at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 miles around.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's why it's never going to be there in a building itself. They do it now in the garage.
Yeah,
because it's just
crazy.
Blow the whole city. So that was my first big gig working there. I was still a freelance, working with Cloda, with GS Audio, doing this, doing that. And one day, I don't remember when it was, I was at Le Centre Musical Antique, and I come across my sister's old boyfriend, and he was the tour manager for Marie-Chantal Toupin. Mm-hmm. So I said, you need a sound guy? He says, yeah. So that's how I got the gig.
Oh, so you were a sound guy on that tour?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were like technical director or something.
Yeah, well, I was both.
Okay.
Then I fired myself.
Okay, explain that.
Well, the thing is that it's I don't think it's feasible to be a front of house guy and be a tour manager at the same time during arena gigs, because you got the green room to take care, you got the merch to take care.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The bus. So I didn't have any sound check nowhere, anytime. I didn't have time for nothing.
That's true. That's true.
When you do all those chores, you don't have time. You cannot be professional at everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to decide your battle. And I was still young in a mixing business, not old enough to say, well, I will not be able to elevate my talent as she needs to be. Mm-hmm. So I decided to fire myself. And so I did, and a great respect. I didn't lose the salary, so I still had 2 salary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was getting better paid than Marie-Chantal herself.
Well, that's often the case. On many gigs I've seen, especially circus gigs, I've seen techs being paid a lot more than the artists.
Yes.
And in circus gigs, that's what was bothering me. These people are actually risking their lives, and we're comfortably seated and pushing buttons, and we're making more money than these people. It's an awkward feeling, but it's reality, right?
Well, the thing is that you choose your career.
Yeah.
You choose your passion, or passion chooses you, however you want to look at it. And then money is not an issue no more.
Yeah. Okay.
These guy has more talent than we have, because their life, like you say, their life depend on them, on them actually. Mm-hmm. Us is pushing buttons, making a right call at the right time.
Yeah.
We won't kill anybody if we we didn't push the fader up fast enough.
Yeah, that's true.
They die. So they got a lifelong career. We don't. How long we'll be on a tour? So I agree with you, and I agree that the tech should be well paid, because the responsibility we have for the thousands, the 10,000s of people that are around you, one guy. Mm-hmm. So the sound guy mixes for 10,000 people.
Yeah.
The lighting guy mixes for 10,000 people.
Yeah, actually, that was my argument. When I just bring down the house lights and people start screaming, I'm God Almighty, and most people in the room don't know I exist.
Exactly.
It's a cool feeling, though. I kind of enjoyed that.
I did. I still do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have managers, tour managers, or whatever beside me. I will say to them, okay, this song needs people to clap. So what I do, I said, I'll make people clap. How can you do that? Take my snare, push it up a bit. So I overpower my snare because I want them to tap on the snare.
Yeah.
When they start clapping, I bring it down because the momentum is started, and then I have the whole arena clapping.
Yeah.
Like you say, you bring down the lights, people will start clapping.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. We have that power, and it's kind of, it's almost magical, you know.
Well, we have more power than you think, because naturally, if it would be neon lights and a static mixer, the show is boring.
That's true. Yeah.
But if you have a mixer who mix and knows music, in my case, so I do a lot of dynamics. I'm a very big dynamic. I give myself goosebumps on almost every song, because I will bring dynamics, because I know when the chorus come, I know when the verses come, I know when the solo will come, and then after a while it's always the same songs. It's a repeat, but you drive, and so there's a lot of fun doing that. So when I worked with Claude, I went full time with Claude for 1 year. You were there then, I guess.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And that was one of the worst difficult thing in my life, when I received my W1 or whatever, what's it called in Canada there, your income tax paper, whatever.
Yeah, T4s and T1s, whatever.
Yeah. So I realized that I was paying 51% of my salary to the government.
Yep.
So I said to Archie, Archie, fire me. What do you mean? Yes. I make too much overtime. I work more than half of my time work for the government. I mixed the Bloc Québécois for 2 years. That was the least of my problem, because they actually paid me to be their sound guy. But working and paying the government to work, I didn't agree with that.
Yeah.
So Archie agreed, and he fired me. So this way, I said that it's not. I didn't want chômage and all those things.
Yeah.
Welfare, I didn't want anything of that. I didn't collect that. And after that, I came in the United States, had an opportunity to get my green card, got my citizenship.
How did that happen? And first of all, what made you decide to go to the States?
My wife, my girlfriend then.
Yeah.
When I met Jose, I was touring with Marie Chantal.
Okay.
She was the sister of the owner of dealers of Harley Davidson that was sponsoring the tour.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So we were sponsored by Harley Davidson, like I was saying. And so one day, Jose came to the show. I said, "Oh, look at you," I said to myself. So nevertheless, I asked her to be my merch girl.
Okay.
And she said no.
Well, she just came to watch the show, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
she was in the family.
She's sort of the family, she was the sister of.
Okay.
So she's, for me, she was beautiful and, had a lot of energy and everything. So she said no. Mm-hmm. I asked her, I said, "Do you realize who I'm with right now? This is the biggest store there is right now. And you're saying no to me?" And that's when I started to like her.
Oh.
Because I knew she was not a groupie.
Yeah, that's true. Good test.
Yeah, well, it was not a test, but it came to, instead of being deceived, not deceived, but annoyed, and I didn't, it made me say, well, I'm proud of her. She stands for her own. She doesn't want to be part of this thingy of the,
Yeah.
So nevertheless, that's how we met, and after that, she was going into the United States every winter. So one year I said to her, well, let's go together. So I became a snowbird for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm. I remember that time. Yeah, and did you have a boat at the time?
No,
you didn't. But I think you were talking about that, though.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah.
So we came, and after we had the opportunity to have a green card, we applied and we got it.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later, we got our citizenship. So we got dual citizenship.
Wow.
There's things that I want to say. François Couture sort of introduced me to the big league sound production thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Richie Forte was really my guru then.
Okay.
He had an O3D, and I bought myself an O3D.
Mm.
And that's when and then there was a band that was really good, was not signed yet, and they were doing a lot of clubs. And I had my O3D, I had my Snakes.
Mm. What band was that?
I don't remember the band.
Okay.
It was a good band. So they were doing the medium league, they called, I think.
Yeah.
They were not in a big league like I was, but they were doing medium league, and I was mixing them in every place they go.
Okay.
James, I did a lot of musician because I own my O3D. So when they hired me, already sounded decent, if I might say.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the beginning of digital boards, right?
Yeah. There was O2R, O1V, and O3D. And I like the O3D because it was a 24-in, 8-out, rack-mountable.
Mm-hmm.
I could carry it in my car,
Yeah, yeah.
So I was using Richie Forte's TMS4 and his double 18 and his amp rack and his microphone. I did a lot of bands with that. And I was mixing. And one day at the Italian Fest, there was this little short, petite guy. I would say 5'2", Italian, only spoke Italian. And he was picky, like picky.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, when the band started, for the first time in my life, I saw sound.
Oh.
I could close my eyes and I could say where in place, in space, sound was coming from. Richie Forte that was his gear. He was amazed how this little tiny guy got his rig, a Clodas PA, but his front of house, meaning his O3D and his finalizer, and KF850, SB850, how with regular microphones, the usuals, and how this guy got it down, man.
Who is this guy?
I found his name. I think I found him. He's the first one who did the Lisa from El Acoustic. I think it's the guy. I would hope so because he deserve all the applause. So that guy really put something into my ears. When you play music, you have a sound in your ears.
Yeah.
And until you achieve that, you strive and you study. So one day there's another gig that I was providing, and I was a system engineer, and Paulo Bizarro came and played on the PA. Was not a really pleasant guy, but having said that, his floor tom was out of this world. It was like, gee, man. There was no real depth. Like, I could not see sound like the Italian, but for all the rest that I heard, he was the best one.
after you, Paolo did the sound for Marie-Chantal Dupin, I believe, right? Or
Yes.
he was technical director or whatever. He did both, I believe.
Well, yes. Well, actually, Pierre. What's Pierre's lighting guy? His last name there?
Pierre Saint-Mars? Oh no, Pierre Roy. Pierre Roy.
Pierre, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So Pierre Roy, me, I quit the tour. There were when your driver tells you where to place fences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I had a reason because I was carrying a lot. People were kids. Most, I would say, a quarter of the audience was kids. So I was very particular on SPL, and they want to be front stage. So SPL, the fences were at 1 meter. So I knew that the SPL was around 110 dB at the ears height of the kids. So don't change the fences. There's a physical reason. It didn't please nobody, but there was I brought the fence further out where the stacks was, and I brought it really close to stage for the fans to step on the bottom lead of the fence, and they could climb up and tap the talent's hand. So that was the goal of my stuff. So I knew that every time she tapped a hand, it was a cha-ching.
Yes.
A CD was sold.
That's true. Yeah. There was a technical reason for that.
Yes, I was trained by Claudio Crispin, a Cirque du Soleil producer. He was living in the same building in a loft downtown Montreal. He was a story higher than me, and Peter Gabriel. He produces Peter Gabriel.
Oh, okay.
So he came and saw me playing when I was touring as a guitar, but we talked business. We talked how to produce show, and he explained everything to me.
Okay, I see. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
There's only 10 tricks. And for Marie-Chantal, I only showed her 3 because he had me promise that if they don't want to hear, don't teach them.
Yeah, that's true. You can't force it on. Yeah.
No, because and then when I left, it went down. Then Pierre Roy called me up and says, "Louis, you want to? You mind if I take the tour?" I said, "No, she would be well served." A year later, he calls me up. He says, "They're beep beep. They're crazy." So I left. Then Paulo took it and left too. Said they're crazy. Yeah.
I'm looking to get Pierre Roy on the show too. You didn't answer my email, but I'm guessing he probably didn't get it because it's not in his nature not to answer my mail. So I'll buzz him again and see if we can get him on the show. Tell me about. I mean, I remember your first days in Florida. You were up with Miami Sound Machine, right?
Well, I was working. When I came down, I visit all the sound company that was in South Florida. I drove my car all around and sent my resume. Not send, gave it hand to hand, my resume to each company.
Okay.
And a company called Garrett hired me. And Garrett was a good friend of the tour manager of Gloria.
Okay.
So she was doing this. Miami Sound Machine was doing a corporate gig. So I was the sound guy.
Oh, so that's how you got it.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So what else? What else did you do? I mean, I've seen posts of you go by. I've seen you on Caribbeans or whatever. I saw a few cool things go by. So what else did you have the opportunity to do while you're American?
I would say that I did, as a provider, I did most American bands there is here.
Wow.
I stopped posting on Facebook, as you notice. I even closed my account for many years because of the jealousy of people. My real friends are not jealous, Dan Matteo, one of the best sound guy in Montreal,
Yeah.
does
I
Rock
haven't
Voisin
seen him in a while. Yeah.
and does Rock Voisin, and all those guys. When we meet together, he's proud. I'm proud of him, and he's proud of me.
Yeah.
He's not jealous of who I mixed because I'm in the States. You're bound to work with them,
Well, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we get to work with them here. I mean, I've
Yeah.
done some big names here on one-nighters and special events, so I'm guessing if you're in the States, you're going to have lots of opportunities.
And everybody wants to go at South Beach. We were the sound company at South Beach on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, not fun.
Oh, well, I mean...
You think it's fun, but sea air, sand, electronics.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see the picture here?
Well, I mean, I see it every time I go on vacation. If I take a boat or anything that's on the beach, I always take a picture of the speakers and whatever because, I mean, after a month, they're shot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rusted. They sound like crap. I mean,
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes. You got to soap wash them, every component.
Crazy.
You have to open the console and spray water into them. You know, it's not funny.
It's not funny, but it is at the same time. I mean, can you
Yes.
imagine hosing down your console?
I came very, you know, I was Yamaha was the console of choices then when there was not a lot of big company. My preferred console then was a PM5D. I could troubleshoot a PM5D on my sleep. Anybody,
Yeah.
you know, you play on a PM5D every day. That was my workhorse. It was everybody's workhorse. And I got this guy at Yamaha, Joseph Lopez. If you look him up, you see where he's at Joseph Lopez. I have his personal phone number. I realize in this business is who you know is not what you know. What you know is important, but who you know is very, very important.
Yeah, who you know and your attitude, and the rest is learnable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, my attitude. I'm still very passionate. They call me really passionate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the States. Oh, I gotta say something. In the States, my name is Frenchie.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I wanted to tell you. Know, it's funny because I have a lot of French friends, of course, coming from Quebec.
Yeah.
And I also have a couple of Frenchie friends who happen to have a surname that's called, they're called Frenchie. But I think you're the first one that I know of.
Yes, the reason is that, you know, American, the first thing they want to know when they meet you is where you come from.
Yeah.
So your accent is your...
it betrays you a little bit.
Exactly. So when I say Frenchie, French Canadian, now they always will remember me. So nobody knows, few people know my real name. They all call me Frenchie. You know, don't call me French because now you're insulting me. And it's IE, it's not the Y at the end.
Yeah.
So there's a few Frenchie. There's a Frenchie in Orlando. He's a video guy.
Uh-huh.
And there's a Frenchie in Miami, and he's a rigger.
Okay.
So in South Florida, there's 3 Frenchie, but we're all different trade. You know. So when I did that at Garrett, I realized that there was no passion. My boss was not passionate at all. Actually, he didn't care less about anything. So for coming a Quebecer, coming from Montreal, we're all passionate. We love what we do. And so I started the name Frenchie. And all the tours, and they were telling me, oh, Frenchie, man, what you did, you know, I tuned the PA and... what you did was perfect, and I got a buddy of mine who does Katy Perry, and I set up the PA, And I must say, I always have John Young for me. John Young is on my resume as my guru because
Well, yeah, John Young is a brand name, right? You mentioned John Young, everybody knows who John Young is.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
and I didn't learn nothing from his mouth.
Just watching him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one day we were doing a gig in Montreal in the university in circular cement, and there was an international tour that came in there, Grand Stack, JBL 89s, and the guy didn't touch one curve on EQ.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew, because I saw his smart curve, and then I knew that this guy is a step above everybody. So I still do have great respect for the guy. For me, watching him, I learned a lot with him.
Yeah, I have the opportunity to talk with John a lot since we work together, and the stuff he explains to me, and yeah, I'll admit I understand half of it maybe because I'm not a sound guy, and even if I was, I wouldn't be at that level. But it is fascinating. I mean, how the guy is knowledgeable and how he can actually bend sound any which way he wants.
Yes,
and he explains to me how he does that, and I'm just amazed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you need a good drive rack to do that.
Oh yeah, he's got the equipment to do it. No doubt about that. But then again, I mean, when you want to have that guy where the equipment is, right? You're not going to send him out with a Mackie and 2 powered speakers.
No,
right?
you're wasting talent. Wasting talent.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
When I studied Dave Ratt. Many years, Dave Ratt was giving courses on YouTube for free.
Okay.
So I did all the math. I did everything. I studied the physics of sound, cardioid, and all the hypercardioid, and all the delays and shifting subs, and all the names doesn't come in my mind right now. I don't know why, because the point is that with Katy Perry's song guy, Fern is his name.
Mm-hmm.
When we were doing Katy Perry at the Fontainebleau in Miami, in South Beach, by the pool outside, and he says to me, he said, "Frenchie, come here." I said, "Oh shit, what did I do again?" And he says, "You hear this? What?" "Well, I don't know what he told me, whatever it was." He says, "You know what? You're the only one who tuned a PA so I could hear this sound."
Oh.
I said, "Oh, gee, thank you."
That's a compliment.
So I said to him, I said, "You know what? You do me a favor? Send an email to my boss."
Yeah.
And I started doing that, and everybody. So the year after, tour would ask, "Is Frenchie going to be there?"
Mm-hmm.
He didn't care about the company. They care about Frenchie.
Well, I always said you deal with individuals, not companies.
Yeah.
That's always what I thought. I mean, it doesn't really matter what company you deal with. You want that service. You want that, personal service.
Yes.
And you want that quality. And only people can bring that.
So I heard a lot of sound guy, I must say, and working with Garrett, mixing so many shows, it's not even funny. I came, doing Marie Chantal at 120 dB at front of house. Now I'm at 85 dB at front of house.
Mm.
And I grew the shit out of the PA, man.
Yeah.
I could bring it up. I bring it up to 110. But it's not 110 on the get-go. So when it's, I groove at 85, 90.
There you go. Yeah, I've had the occasion to work with people who can do that, who can actually drive. I mean, they're driving loud, but you can still talk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so sweet because many people will drive loud, but they'll just boost the wrong frequencies. And I don't know
Yes.
if I'm saying this right because I'm not a sound guy, but it's just aggressive. I mean, it's still too loud with earplugs on, you know?
Fletcher,
And yeah.
Fletcher Monson curve.
Oh, what does that mean?
It's it's two doctors. Fletcher Monson. You'll look it up later on. You'll see the curve. You'll see the human ears. I applied this physics for many years. That's John Young's curve, but it's a Fletcher Monson curve.
Okay, good to know. We'll look that up.
So, working with at Garrett, I have this guy, Ross Kimpy, acoustic guy. I hire him. He's number 2 in North America, and he's number 7 in the world.
Okay.
And he's my A2. And I say, Ross, man, stop it. I'm an A35 compared to you. You know, just. So one day we do Carlos Vivas. Well, I don't care. It doesn't matter who it was, but it was Robert Colby, the front of house guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's Genesis. That's international big fucking league.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the fuck.
That's okay. I've said it before. There are no rules on this podcast.
Yeah, but I should not say that. So nevertheless, Robert. So I said to Ross, said, you know Robert? Yeah, for sure. We work together. Yeah. Okay. I said, Ross, be my A1. I'll be the A2. I'll take care of the stage. I'll do everything over there. But one favor, the PM5D, here's my PCM card. Load his show into my card when he's done.
Yeah.
And
just so you can study it, right?
Exactly. And then my life changed.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was some people in Montreal that was laughing at me because they called me the gate guy.
Mm.
And
really?
Yes. They're not even in the business, Archie tells me.
Okay.
But it really bothered me. You know? So I realized that I was right. They were wrong.
Mm.
Robert Colby, that's how I knew that he gated the snare.
Uh-huh.
And he gated the bottom snare triggered by the top snare. Ooh-wee. You know? So there was a lot of little details, and what I did is I took because there was bongos, there were timbales, there was trumpet, trombone, there was a 48 channel full of stuff. And it's Robert Colby. So every channel, I took everything and I made a library file for every console there is on the planet. So one day, Miami Machine. The Miami Machine, when they walk on stage, you cannot ask the drummer to do kick. It doesn't work this way.
How?
They sit and they play.
Okay, so they don't even sound check.
There's no sound check. That does not exist.
Wow.
It does not exist.
Okay.
Okay, so I hired a guy, a buddy of mine, Rudy McNeil. His name is Rude Boy International. Guns N' Roses.
Oh.
Prince. Monitor. He's a monitor engineer.
Okay.
So I hired him to do monitors because I knew that I was going to be well served. So we do this.
Yeah, with no sound checks, monitors. First couple of songs have to be like hell.
No. So no. That's
no. Unless you're prepared, right? Unless you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Ah, I see.
So he did them a lot of years. So, I was comfortable on monitors. And me, I had Robert Colby's file. So I knew that every band that I did after that, I sounded awesome. I had a work file.
Yeah, that's worth millions.
Millions. There's no word for that. Yeah. So he did that. And then I got to tell you a story with Rude Boy. His name is Rude boy, and trust me, rude applies, really applies.
Okay, he's one of those.
Yes. He's,
Okay.
he's one of the best monitor engineer there is, but he's one of those. So you got to let him be. Do your job, buddy. You get out the hall. He brings a boy, rude boy. He brings the boy and bitch at the board like there's no tomorrow. He's on stage calling frequencies. And so he has 10K on stage, and I have 12K at front of house. Wow. So I'm sort of overpowered, if I might say. I would have needed like 20, but I'm doing a 5,000, 2,500 to 3,000 ballroom inside venue.
Okay.
So, you know, you don't need to be that loud there, rude boy, but what do I know? I'm just a front of house guy.
Yeah.
So Clay calls me up, the band leader. Hey, Frenchie. So I go to him. I say, "Oh, yes, yeah." Rude boy says to me, "Hey, Frenchie, you know, they fire 5 front of house guys before they start the show, huh? Just to let you know. Have yourself a good day now."
Oh yeah.
I'm shitting.
That's encouraging, right?
I'm shitting in my pants. Literally, I smell. You know. Can you imagine?
Wow,
so,
what a good way to start a show.
So he calls me up and he says, "Hey, Frenchie. So, well, I never did Latin before in my life. So it's not a kick, it's a bongo."
Yeah.
So it was less kick, more bongo, and a rounder bass. So I asked him, I said, "Is that it?" He said, "Yeah, everything else is cool." Okay, cool. Thank you.
Wow.
So I said to him, I said, that was my first. No sound check, mind you. Okay. So that's a 48 channel full.
Okay.
Yeah. Recall.
Yeah, because you have, what did, you had a PM5D, right?
No, I had M7CL.
M7CL, so you're paging all the time.
No, it's M7CL is all the faders on one page.
Okay, so you had 48 faders on your Surface.
That's correct. And I used a tablet so I could move around.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was a big deal. Tablets was a big deal.
Yeah.
So having said that, I said to Clay, I said, "Clay, we're doing a ballroom here. It's for Mama and Papa, and the people are so old that they don't know that they're dead yet." So I said, "You think it would be possible to bring the monitor stage down?" "Oh yeah, sure, Frenchie." He goes over there on stage and he bitched at rude boy like there was no tomorrow. So that was his payback.
Okay.
Yeah, payback. Don't F with the front of house guy. You're the A2. I'm the A1. Remember that.
Well, okay.
So it brought it down, man. It was awesome. And that's how I started with them, you know. And so every time they have a front of house guy, and Ray is their tour manager. I say, "Ray, you know, you got a front of house guy. I will not be the guy who will bump the other one because I want the gig. I don't want the gig. If you need me, I'm available. If not, you know, don't kick your other sound guy out because you want me." So Gloria likes me, you know. She told me that she likes to work with me, but her career is, she doesn't do that no more. She does other stuff, you know. So
I'm guessing,
she's a lovely woman. She's this is a family.
Uh-huh.
I would have loved to tour with them. I would have toured the world with them because she's a family woman. She's not a biatch, you know.
Yeah.
So
she looks like. She looks real nice too.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, I mean, like all of us, she must be getting older, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Comes a time where you want to move on and just settle down, I guess.
Well, she has restaurants. She has other
Oh,
productions. She's well managed lady.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I did other stuff with other people.
Mm-hmm.
James Taylor was another good treat for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, John Lodge was another treat for me.
So now you're sort of semi-retired, I guess, right? You're
Well, yeah,
sailing on your boat and taking whatever gig goes by, but you're not running after them, right?
no, yeah.
Mm.
If people want me, I'll go. You know, studying Dave Rat, um, hearing other sound guy, and sometimes I would do a show and it would be like too international, and I would do the opening act.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I sound better. And it's not because I brag about it, it's because their ears are burned
Yeah, yeah, that happens.
and mine are
Yeah.
not.
Mm.
Because I didn't do that all my life at extreme volume.
Yeah, yeah, we are human, right?
Yeah.
I have the same problem as the old sound guys who've played too loud all their lives. I mean, it's my eyes. You won't see me blasting the atomics and blinders and strobes and shit all the time because I can't stand it anymore. Even my doctor tells me stop looking at the light. You know?
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
know what that's from? That's from fashion shows.
Yeah.
Because I was too dumb to use a light meter, so I used to look right into the light to focus it. Oh, my focus was impeccable, but I mean, it just shot my eyes. So now I see
Yeah.
black dots everywhere.
Wow.
But yeah, but it doesn't matter because I'm always in traffic, so I can still drive. I mean, I don't have to go fast. I don't have to have reflexes. I just follow the guy ahead of me, so it's all good.
So at this stage, sometimes I go to, there's kids now, and that and all those people in my life really changed the way I mix. Now I mix so much different. I could say now with confidence that I would sit beside my people that I know, and I would not be ashamed of my mix. I would probably be proud of my mix. I didn't achieve the sound that you could say that I saw sound. There was a Russian guy that pushed me over the console, pushed me away from the console.
Oh,
And, that guy had to have very big cahoon to do that because I stand my ground, trust me. But when a guy does that, I will move away because he has big cahoons to do that.
yeah.
And man, oh man, oh man, a Russian guy couldn't speak a word English. We just sign language.
Hmm.
And it was awesomeness. Again, I saw sound. We were not, it was not sound, saw sound. We were like in a balloon, like in a dome. We were part of the sound, if I might say.
Yeah, that's a high level.
It was. So now I have those two things in my head that I try to achieve. I'm getting there. I know it's the reverb. The reverb consoles are not really good. I have a good buddy of mine, Chris Carlton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Styx, Barbara Streisand. When I go on to Miami, I sleep over his place, and he has two Bacstage TM7. And I send a business to him, and he wants to pay me. I said, no, Chris, I don't want any money. He said, when I want your Bacstage TM7, I just come over, take it, and I'll bring it back. That's all I want. Because when you have those reverb, life change. So that's about my story. I'm really passionate. Oh yes, I wanted to say something. So kids now they always have an opinion, and they always want to mix kick. they want to make a kick. It's a kick gig. It's a kick gig. That's all there is. It's a kick. So, is it a kick gig or a bass gig? And how old are the people? Is it 1960 music? There was not a kick then. 50 music. There was not even sub then. It did not even exist.
Yeah, and I remember in the 60s, the early 60s, they couldn't put too much, even any low end would be cut because it would make the record skip.
So you got to mix with what you got in front. Having said that, sometimes I go to companies and I do teachings. I have virtual sound check of David Benoit, other bands like that. And so one day I'm in this shop and we set up consoles and my playback. I give them my cans that I have right now. Then on HD 3000, Dave Rat says they're the best in the market. So I bought a pair, naturally. And so they mix, they have half an hour. And I prepare a sound check for them, which we don't have, I know, but just for shits and giggles. So I prepare a sound check. They have half an hour to mix, each of them. And after that, it stopped. We save. So save, and we go have lunch. We come back, and I say to them, I said, you know what, guys? I'm going to show you something, what it means to have library file. For me, it's Robert Colby. So, see, I got see all my labeling there. For me, it's K91, K52. So that's my kick. Beto 91, Beto 52, you know. I just labeled the way I like it. Snare top, snare bottom, snare 2 top, snare 2 bottom, you know. Hi-hat 1, hi-hat 2, ride, tom 1, 2, 3, 4, override right, override left, bass dirty, bass clean, and guitar 1, guitar 2, ACC 1, ACC 2. You know, keyboard is very simple. Congas, timbales, whatever. But so I have this. So I said to the guys, I said, give me 2 minutes. So I don't even put the cans on. Recall. Lift the faders. Start play. Oh, gee. I'm almost there, huh? Okay. Pause. Let me put the cans on. I did a little tweaking. So it's me, I go from, you know, I do like a sweep on every page. So I clean my gates, check my my comp, my reverb, you know, and my delays and everything else, and EQ. And after 2 sweep, I stop. So I'm about 5 minutes done. So then I save. I'm good. So I took one guy and listened to his mix, and I couldn't hear the kick, but the kick was clipping, but I could not hear it. Okay. Everything else was thin. You thought that the sound was coming right at the middle of your nose, you know.
Oh yeah.
The next guy was snare. The kick drum was awesome, but naturally it was David Benoit. So it's a jazz, a fusion jazz, like a Spyro Gyro type of thing, but more piano. And Spyro Gyro was a treat, man. That was. So, but nevertheless, so kick was awesome. The rest was okay. And then I said to the kid, I said, man, I love your kick, but it's a wrong kick. It's a jazz, not a rock kick. You need a jazz kick. And then I left my faders. I said, oh, gee, okay. They give me another 5 minutes, then I got my reverb in there. So I had 10 minutes, and I said, then I just overpassed them. I said, can you imagine if I had half an hour like you guys had? Then I would have worked my New York compression. I would have worked my other groups and all those little goodies. And then you would have said, man, freak me out. You're tight like it's a record. Yeah. I have finalizers. I have so many things happening but only had 5 minutes, so I didn't have the time. I wanted to start where they started. The only thing was label was there. That's all it was. No EQ, no nothing. Everything was flat. So I had to be the same for them, the same for me.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's nice to they want to show off. They say, "Oh, I spent 75,000 and I went to Full Sail and I'm better than you are." And when you compare to them and you say, "Oh, gee, guys, that's why you're my bitch for the next 10 years,"
Yeah.
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 That's reality, There was I gotta tell you this story.
Okay.
So we're doing a PRG gig, and we're about 25 guys, big corporate gig, and in the big hall at GS, I'm the A1 over there. But there was a sound check at night, and I didn't want to stay there. So there was a buddy over there of mine, and I told him, I said, "Take my place, and I'll take your hall. Same salary, so who cares?" So, okay, so when it comes to who's in this hall, so my buddy lifts his hand. And then half an hour later, the guy says, "Who's Frenchie?" I say, "Okay, that's me."
Oops.
Okay, I'm here. So this kid comes to me and says, "Hey, Frenchie, I'll do your hall." Oh, I look at him and say, "Oh, gee, thank you. I really appreciate now, somebody will cover me right now. That's good. I want to go home, have lunch, see my wife."
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question first. And I always ask the same question when somebody wants to show off. I say to them, "What sex XLR you have to have in your hand to plug into an output of a console?"
Ooh.
So naturally, the guy, because I tricked my wording and my emphasis are misleading you. So he says, "Male." I said,
Oops.
"Wrong. Output, you need a female in your hand." "Okay, so I'm sorry to say, but you really want to help me out?" I said, "I misplaced something." And I go close to his ears and he whispered and I said, "I misplaced my Camlock green to RCA red. Not the RCA white, but the RCA red. Can you get that for me, please?" The guy turned around and walked away.
Oh, come on.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Well, I was expecting tricky questions, but those are the jokes we were making like 25 years ago, right?
It still works today.
Camlock to shackle or whatever.
Skyhook.
Yeah.
A bucket of blue steam.
Of blue steam. Oh, okay. We didn't have that.
No, a bucket of blue steam.
We had regular steam.
Yeah, bucket of blue steam. Go get a bucket of blue steam.
Oh, man. You know what? I think I'm going to do a show just on those expressions.
Yes.
That'll be really funny. Anyway, Louis, I got to wrap it up. I thank you a million times for taking the time from your dream life on a boat in Florida to talk to us and bring us some of your wisdom. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from this interview, which ran over like 2.5 times my regular interviews, but it doesn't really matter. It's all good.
Yeah, just chop off the excess,
Yeah, right, sure. You know what? I mean, the first episodes I started editing, and the more I go, the more I just let it go. And I say, you know what? I mean, if it was pleasant for me, it'll be pleasant for everybody. So, I mean, I can cut off whatever fucked up, like when we lose the signal or whatever. But
it was a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm still passionate, like you are. We're passionate. We're crazy people. You know that?
Yeah, we are.
We are very crazy
people. I remember the first gigs we did together. I was just starting out on a Compulite Spark. And you were pushing me in the ass, man. You were asking me for impossible things to do that I know today. But
you know that I knew those things, huh?
Of course. I found out later. I said he was just pushing me because he knew I could go further. He wanted to get the best out of me, and I always remember that. I'll always be thankful for that. Because when you have some guy in your back pushing you, and I was uncertain because I was starting, so I didn't know what was possible and what was not possible. And you don't want to say, I can't do it. So you just push hard. And what did I do at the end of the day? Got home like at 2 a.m., opened up the fucking manual and started, okay, how do I do this? How do I get out of this one? You know?
Yeah. Actually, I did that at the shop. I closed a shop. I did the whole manual.
Which one? The Spark?
Yes.
Oh, man, 400 pages?
Yes, I did that. And with the Technobeam and
the
those
Technobeam controllers.
Those PAL. It took me 2 days. 2 days to light to strike the lamp. Channel 128. I didn't know that then.
No, you had to read back then. I mean, today boards will do it for you. But back then you had to know what the hell you were doing, man, or else nothing works.
I remember one time that you and I and Jacques Lévesque were doing this horse thingy. Remember that?
Oh, Blainville?
No, in Palais des Congrès. There was a stadium type of four-corner stadium seating.
Yeah.
And then Jacques
Lévesque
brought
a horse in.
That's correct.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And then you said to me, you asked me, said, I'd like to have some knowledge from Jacques Lévesque.
Yeah.
And I told you, I said, don't ask a dumb question. I remember that. And I went to Jacques, I said, please be nice to my lighting guy. Coco, just be nice, behave yourself.
Well, you know what? It worked because we became good friends, and I'm pretty sure it's because of that. Because he wasn't an easy person to talk to.
Oh no, he's not.
Yeah.
Now he's a better person. But I remember that you said to him, "Do you ask a question?" And it was not in the manual, and he was on, right in front of the desk. His hand was over his head and touching the spark top, and you go this, you do that, you do this, you do that, you do this, and this is how you do it. And those computer guys don't know what they're talking about. And then you come to realize that he knew more than the manual knew.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, he's a genius. I always told him, by the way, because he had that temper, and he was bitching at everybody. And once I was on a movie set with him, and I got him in a corner, and I said, Coco, you got to realize something. You are a genius. Whether you want to admit it or not, you are a genius, and everybody on the set will agree to that. Now, the problem is you have to accept that fact and accept also that everybody else around you is an incompetent.
Yes. So me, I call him Einstein. You know that Archie didn't want to hire him.
Well, a lot of people didn't want to hire him.
And I said, Archie, I want him. He says, no. I said, he's the best of the best. I'll deal with his character. I sometimes I send him in this dimmer world. I said, hide. I had to
just make it work and hide.
No, I had to scream at him like a kid, and he would go in his corner and hide until I tell him to poke his head out when the client left. But at the end of the day, for me, he's Einstein.
Of course.
When he would say on that mother Mac 2000, it's the second PC, it's the chip number tick that was broken.
Yeah.
When you have a guy that says that, I'm sorry. He's more than more. He's the best.
Oh, yeah. He's the guy who he'd sit at a board. It's not working. He'll open it up, fix it, close it up. There you go.
It's a bit like Adele Caddy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that Celine Dion store when Lapin has problem with his rig, who he calls?
He calls who?
He calls Coco.
Coco, yeah. Okay, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
So you have an international lighting guy that when he's in a pinch, he calls Coco Lévesque.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, not bad, huh?
Not bad, eh? For a guy who nobody wants to hire.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got him on the air tonight, so I can't wait to talk to him. Oh, of course I will. Well, that's the end of another episode of the Backstage Cowboys podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes. Special thanks to AVL Media Group and Avo Lights, who, in my opinion, make the best lighting consoles in the world. If you would like to test drive an Avo Lights console, contact me via BackstageCowboys.com. This is Claude Vien returning you to whatever you were doing before tuning in.